Hey there, Red. I got the goods. You got my money?
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like it's here. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Alright then. Here you go.
Wait, hold on. Now I know this is not the format that you wanted this review to be done in. Plenty of you out there have already demanded that you wanted to see this review happen in its high definition letterbox format. Well, unfortunately, I can't fit it all on camera no matter how far away I review this thing. It's not all going to show up. It's that huge of a toy. And yes, I said toy, which means it can be played with, and I'll go more into detail about that later on in this review. But for now, we're taking a look at the package of Masterpiece Optimus Prime, or as they call it, MP-10 over in Japan, or Convoy, doesn't matter, still the same guy, same figure. Quality is a little different from its Japanese counterpart, but like I said, more into detail later on. Right now we're just looking at the package itself. And it's a very, very nice box. It's very blocky. And it's pretty much very durable. I mean, this thing is strong. This is definitely meant for collector's value. I mean, you can't, this thing cannot be destroyed. It just can't. It can be dented up. It can be smeared up. But really, I mean, you cannot destroy this. If you were to intend to destroy it, it would probably take you a while to figure out how to get rid of this thing. It's also autographed by the one who got it for me. Yes, thank you very much, bro. Thank you. Hope to do some more future business with you later on. As a matter of fact, yeah, I'm sure I'll be coming back to you. So, let's take a look at the back. Why not? Because this is where it all is intended for, right? Yeah. There's a little brief bio on Optimus Prime, and here I am in front of the camera. Ayo! So yeah, you can see me. I don't care. I'm hunched back because, I mean, the camera is way down here, and I have to bend down in order to speak into the microphone, so just ignore me. There you go. There's all that. Here's Optimus, followed by Optimus, followed by Optimus. And look, Spike. Cool. A G1 character that's never had an action figure, except for Heroes of Cybertron, if I'm not mistaken. Here's some little inclusions to this set. Very cool. Very nice. It's well worth the $120 price tag at Toys R Us, if I'm not mistaken. There is a little bit more, actually. Here's his tech specs, which I'll try and get it on camera. Focus. There you go. There's a nice little artwork of Optimus Prime. Why do I keep saying little? This thing's huge. There's some more of Optimus Prime. Same thing over here. A little more inclusion. And that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything on the bottom except for Transformers Club and, yeah, barcode. That's it. Let's get this out of the way and get the figure in here. So here he comes, here it comes. Beep, 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 beep. Here he is. G1 Optimus Prime. G1 Optimus Prime in his vehicle mode. Now I know a lot of people would start off with what comes in the package at first, which would be his robot mode, but I feel a little more creative. I think that we should start with his... you know what, to be perfectly honest, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I like the truck mode a lot better than the robot mode. I have my reasons, okay? So, for a quick size comparison, since I really don't have anything else that I could show off, let's bring in Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime. And you can see that it's pretty much in scaled with him. As a matter of fact, this is really close. Sorry, I got the sniffles. And for another size comparison, here's Bumblebee, which we'll be using for the trailer. As a matter of fact, we're going to use him right now. So let's take Optimus Prime off this thing and bring down the landing gear, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I'll call it landing gear. It's my review. Open up these back doors here, which is pretty cool. Slide down this ramp, like so. Turn this here. Shoot, Roller's in there, ain't he? Yeah, spoiler, Roller! And yes, there's nowhere for him to lock into the trailer, so when you move the trailer around, he's going all over the place. He's going to be the first one to get messed up out of this whole set, I promise you. So let's see, it should fit any of your alternative figures, or whatever they're called, alternators, what they used to be called, or you could throw in some Dark of the Moon figures, or whatever you got. So yeah, as long as it's about the size of Bumblebee, it'll work. So there's that. Let's go ahead and pop open this bad boy, which is not easy. But I find it that if you put your hand in here and you push to the sides, like so, you can actually get it to open a lot easier. So here's its battle station mode, as they call it. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. Oh, I forgot to do something, sorry. There's a little bit of a Mecha Live gimmick here. Bring these out to the side, and as you can see, the legs will come down themselves. Very nicely detailed, might I add. Look at all that, especially the spare tire. I was not expecting that. My apologies, this is going to be quite the messy review, since it's too freaking big. Optimus Prime's Ion Blaster. Get that out of the way. This as well, over here. Optimus Prime's Energon Axe, which he only used in one episode, which he needs to stop coming with as if it's his signature weapon. This is his signature weapon. This is not. Hasbro, get over it. That's just my opinion. So just deal with it, okay? And Optimus Prime's got his little repair buddy right here, whatever this thing is, that the Generation 1 figure had. It's got a pretty good amount of articulation. You know, the arm goes up and down. Bends at 2 points over here, and the claw does open up, so it can work on Optimus Prime in this way, or you can lift it up and it'd be like this way, but you get the idea. Personal preference is totally up to you. His radar dish just, you know, rotates, and it goes up and down, but that's to set it aside when you're storing it away. And this little piece right here opens up. And I'll go ahead and bring out little Spiky. Little Spiky. So, okay, let's get this up close and personal. Spike can go right inside here. Close it. And there you go. He could be working on Optimus Prime. It is a little loose right here. There is a little QC problem with this toy. And that's not all. When I first opened this thing, this right here just kept falling down. It was not tight whatsoever. It just would not stay straight up. It would just fall right flat on this bottom, I guess. I don't know. So let's just go ahead and get Spike out again. Set him aside. It is pretty cool. I mean, it's got some really good movement. More than the actual Generation 1 toy. So it rotates as well. And I don't know why it does this, but I'm going to show it off anyway since it's part of the instructions. This little piece right here on the trailer can be folded down. This one right here can do the pretty much the very same thing, though it's a little tighter. Don't worry, you're not going to break the thing, so go nuts. Make sure this is lined up about like this or like this. Close these bits in. Make sure they're locked in place. And yeah, Optimus could be driving in cab mode with his trailer in the back, and this piece could be sitting on top, blasting the Decepticons. You know, it would be cool if it was actually like the Generation 1 counterpart, where it actually had some spring-launching projectiles. That would have been cool. But I digress. Get this open again, so I can sit this all back aside and show you this awesome, awesome detail on this thing. Yeah, let's go inside depth. Let's get in depth with this thing, huh? Why not? Look at all this molded detail. It's just so kick-ass. I like it. It's way past cool. Look at all this. So awesome. Spike could fit in this thing right here if you wanted to, but I mean, if you were to store him in this trailer, fold it up, he'll be flying all over the place, just like Roller. And you can also sit here somewhere. Yeah, there it is, the seat. Okay, now I just noticed that. So, it's pretty cool. It's very nice. I like it. This is my very first, well, no, sorry. This is my second Optimus Prime figure with a freaking trailer. Because the first one was actually Dark of the Moon Ultimate Optimus Prime, which I sadly do not have anymore. Now, let's bring in Roller. Why not? Spike can sit in Roller right here, and Roller is his actual color as he was in the show, which is blue, not silver. I don't know why he was silver in the past. This little piece right here can fold back. You can fold this out and rotate this around. You can close this back up like so, and you can take Optimus Prime's blaster and lay it on top. Unfortunately, it doesn't lock anywhere, so, you know, just a couple movements and it's coming right off. But I mean, they all do roll. That's pretty cool, right? All the wheels roll. They don't get caught on anything. So, here's all the detail on Roller. Optimus Prime's little buddy. We'll take this back up, bring this back in, and put this back down. And there you go. I'm not considering on getting any of the repro labels for this figure because I think it looks pretty good the way it is. And besides, I really don't like the G1 stickers. They're way, way out of the designs of today is what I'm trying to say. But whatever. Those who like vintage toys, you'll sure love them. Here's Spike, by the way. Anybody that wants to see what he looks like. And, I think I got a Human Alliance figure somewhere around here. There you go. Here he is compared to Sam Witwicky. So, yeah, you can see that he's a really, really small guy. Definitely out of scale when it comes to Optimus Prime. But then again, actually, when you think about it, Spike really was a kid in the Generation 1 cartoon until the 3rd season. And the movie, of course. So there's that. I'm going to take a little break, and when I come back, we'll get to Optimus Prime himself, so just bear with me. Okay, just in case you didn't get your fill or your appetizer with the trailer, I'm going to show you a quick 360 all around of this thing. Look at this bad boy. This thing is just absolutely gorgeous. And yes, if you hear any moving around in there, that's Roller. I told you there's nowhere to lock him in place. Let's take a look at the stripping on this. This is so awesome. So cool. I love it. I love the mix of the blue, or the sky blue and the white, and the Autobot symbol. All the colors, red, white, and blue, and silver. Of course, the trailer is not as shiny as its Japanese counterpart, or dare I say, Convoy. But you know what? I'm just happy Hasbro released this one, because now I finally have a Masterpiece Optimus Prime of Generation 1 that I've been dying to get my hands on in a long, long time, because I used to have MP-10. Sadly, I don't anymore. But this thing is just so amazingly detailed. It is so cool, and it is definitely reminiscent to its actual Generation 1 counterpart. Except for the fact that these doors right here actually open from the sides rather than opening up from, you know, instead of just flipping down, they actually open up from the sides like an actual trailer would. That is so awesome. I dig it. I love it. Thank you, Hasbro. This thing is amazing. There is a little bit of some overbleed in the color. You can see it in some places, but then again, what Hasbro figure is perfect these days? None. None. Really. Okay, let's get this out of the way now and bring in the man himself. The big motherfucker. Or, you know, the small little guy, in this mode at least. Optimus. This is so awesome. I really wish I could compare this with Masterpiece 1. Or, you know, the 20th anniversary Optimus Prime figure. That's the one I had. But I don't have him anymore. But we all know exactly what that figure looked like compared to this figure's cab mode. It was horrific. It was horrible. Terrible. It was definitely, you could tell that it was just the start of something that was going to get better and better over time. And it did. Yeah, sure, this figure may not be as big as MP-01, but it definitely is a major improvement. Where that one failed, this one succeeded. Look at all this. I mean, you really cannot tell that this is actually a Transformer or a robot in disguise. I mean, this is just so freaking cool. Sure, the feet are a dead giveaway, and maybe you can see Optimus, you know. But other than that, I mean, this really does look like an actual flat-headed semi-truck that you would actually see on the road. Even today, these still exist. I see them all the time down here. It is just so cool. And did I mention that he's actually got some rear view mirrors? Huh? That is awesome. And this thing is just so absolutely perfect. It makes me kind of wish that we had a black repainted version of this guy. I want a Nemesis Prime version of this. This is so awesome. So freaking cool. And also, I didn't show this off, but now I'm going to. You can take Spike. There's this little hole right here that you can sit him in and close it up and make it look like Spike's actually driving, even though he's under the age limit. At least around this time he was. And yes, if you have to be nitpicky, you can see Optimus Prime's head. Hey yo! So let's go ahead and take Spike out and close this back up and take one last look at this awesome, awesome looking truck mode. So cool. Yes, he's cheating when it comes to the actual grill part of his stomach in robot mode, but you know what? I can forgive him. And yeah, the Matrix, you can see it. We'll get to it soon. Fold these out one more time. I can't stop looking at this. This is so cool. This is where I say that Chrome is done right when it comes to Transformer toys. When it comes to the vehicle mode, it just makes it pop. And look at this. Look at the smokestacks. Did I mention that they are not short? These are actually long smokestacks. And they even get longer in robot mode. See the difference in the scale? That is so awesome. This figure is just so freaking cool for what it is in cab mode. I love it. I really, really do. Like I said, where MP-1 failed, this one succeeded. It was just going to get better over time. Now, there is a little bit of a paint flaw. This is where Hasbro can get a little bit slippy when it comes to this stuff. I mean, look at this. You see all this over here? Look at this. This is what you call paint bleeding right here. This is terrible, but I can forgive them because this figure is awesome. Now, over here, it's pretty much the same, but like I said, always forgiven. I love this figure, just for this mode alone. So let's take one last look at Optimus compared to Optimus again, without the trailer this time, so you can see exactly how long this figure is compared to this one. Okay, let's get him out of the way, and let's bring in Bumblebee. Yeah, pretty cool. And bring in Sam just for the heck of it. And yeah, you can see that this figure is totally out of scale. Actually, now that I think about it, yeah, Spike is actually a pretty good size compared to this. So there's that. And now we're going to go ahead and take him into his robot mode. And just to play it safe, that I don't screw up and I don't waste your guys' time, I'm going to do it off of camera. I'm sorry, I have to. But I will tell you one thing. There is not one thing on this Optimus Prime figure that I've had to tighten. Everything on this figure right here in this mode snaps in perfectly and stays securely. Look at his legs. I've noticed that some people have actually had problems with keeping this in place because it likes to unpeg. Not a problem with mine. As you can see, these two bottom pieces right here do not overlap each other. It is perfect. Perfect. Ever so perfect. Okay, just throwing that in there. Well, that was fun. It only took 5 minutes. That's the best and the quickest time that I've done it so far, transforming this figure back to robot mode, and so on and so forth. So here he is, MP-10, or Optimus Prime, or Convoy, if you want to call him that, in his robot mode. And might I say, there is a major difference between this one and the original MP-01 or the 20th anniversary Optimus Prime figure. Doesn't matter whichever one you want to call it, it's still a masterpiece figure. Even if it is lacking in proportions today when compared to this one. That's one problem. The second problem, when it comes to this one being at fault and not MP-01, is the fact that he's got no die cast on him anywhere. People say that he's got die casts on his feet, but I'm going to tell you right here, right now, even though these do feel cold, I'm not feeling the die cast. I do not feel any metal on his feet whatsoever. So there's no die cast on this figure, period. Everything is plastic. Even the chrome is painted and molded from plastic and painted over with chrome. That's how this figure is made, by plastic. So he's got no weight. Sure, he's got some weight, but you know what I mean. I mean, he is light. Look at this. One finger alone is holding this figure. Where if it was the original Masterpiece figure, the metal would weigh him down and he'd probably slip right out of my fingertips. And I'd hope that never happened to any of your figures. But overall, I love these proportions. And I'm going to try and bend down to where you guys can actually hear me now. So, yeah, I'm down now. I can actually talk to you. Okay. So, what really this figure is all about is just a major improvement from the original MP-01. This one definitely looks more to the cartoon accuracy than I've seen any Optimus Prime figure these days. This is probably going to be the best we will get in a long time. And I mean, it's probably going to be another decade or so before we actually see an even more better and a more greater to the actual quality of the cartoon series Optimus Prime. The only one nitpick that is not coming from me, it's actually coming from my brother, Green is Power. Unfortunately, when he saw this figure in my hand, said, "Why is his legs not white?" If you look back at the cartoon series, Optimus Prime's legs were in fact white. I really can't argue with the color chosen for his legs, since white would definitely look wrong, especially today. I mean, really, do you see anybody out on the streets wearing white pants these days? I don't. White just wouldn't look right on Optimus. I like the gray. I think gray works for his robot look. I mean, it's pretty cool. I would prefer silver, but not chrome. You guys know how I am with chrome. I hate chrome. Chrome is the evil of all toys, but like I've been saying a million times now I'm going to say it again 1,000,001 times, people see chrome as the way of the future. I know what you're thinking. Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to throw in that SpongeBob pun, okay? No. But still, overall, I love this major improvement of MP-01. It's awesome. It is small. Like I said, Masterpiece Optimus Prime, the first one, was about maybe up to here. You can still see my hands on the camera, so I don't have to flip it up. It was about up to here. And for oversized comparisons, let's bring in Dark of the Moon Optimus Prime. They're about close in scale. Very close, but Dark of the Moon Optimus is still the bigger seller. As you can see, he's bigger, but not by much. I mean, he's up there. And let's bring in my all-time favorite Optimus Prime toy. Toy, people. I'm not talking about shows. I'm talking about the toy. Robots in the Sky's Optimus Prime, or as you want to call him in Japan, Fire Convoy! Transform! Yeah. As you can see, Optimus Prime comes up to about his chest area. If you can call it a chest. So, let's get into the articulation on this figure, huh? Okay. Optimus Prime does not have a ball jointed neck. It just goes up and down. It turns left and right. But he does actually have a neck this time. That is a major difference. Also, talking past MP-01, I'm talking about the other counterpart of MP-10, which is the Japanese release. They actually painted his eyes to make it look like he's got life. Look at that. That was a huge complaint coming from the actual consumers of MP-10, was the fact that the Takara Tomy release actually had light piping, but the fact was that they did not have any light shining through the back of his head, that it made it look like he, just wasn't lit up, that he was dead. So yeah, instead of what they should have done was paint him like black, gray, and all those dark colors and made him a sleep mode in this format. Why not? But, thank you Hasbro for fixing that issue. So yeah, anyway, back to the articulation. Head looks up and down, swivels around. Mouth plate does not move up and down this time. It's been taken away, which, you know what? I prefer it gone anyway. Shoulders, they go up and around. They go in and out. They go in and out. Just to get some more movement. But that's about as far as they go up. They have bicep swivel, which is a little tight, so I'm going to be very gentle on him. 90-degree elbow bend. Wrist rotates. Fingers are actually articulated to a certain degree. The pointer finger is actually a little more articulated here. So you can get him to point if you want, like so, but he's still not pointing straight. But yeah, whatever. It's nice that they actually threw that in there. His thumb is not articulated, but I digress, I don't care. So the articulation is about the same over here. There's nothing different. What am I talking about? Let's see. Waist, it rotates. That's due to transformation, but it's there. Now this is what really got to me. His legs. Just because of the fact that these skirts here do not move whatsoever. They're just one molded piece and hollow, might I add, on the inside. Not a good idea, Hasbro. Not a good idea whatsoever. Whatever. The legs do actually get a little bit of kick movement. A little bit. Not much. As you can see, you could probably low blow Megatron if they actually made one in this scale. But they don't. At least not yet. So it goes back about this far as well. Not much. Legs do actually split pretty far, as you can see. They do have a thigh rotation. There is a ball joint in there, but it's limited. The knees do bend about 90 degrees. No, perfectly 90 degrees. What am I talking about? They do actually swivel down here at the knees. I don't know why, but it's nice that he gets that little more advantage. And then the feet are not on ball joints, but they actually do act like them. They move up, they move down. And they do go side to side depending on where you got them. Mainly in robot mode, it's supposed to be pushed out to here. In truck mode, you're supposed to push it out here. But, yeah, it just helps out with his stability a lot. Even though this is a little loose, he will stand in place as long as you don't mess with him. And last but not least, his feet do pivot up and down, but that's due to transformation back into cab mode. So he's loaded with articulation. A great amount of articulation. It's not as much as MP-01, but I digress, this figure is all the better. It's top notch. Like I said, this is probably the best we're going to get to close, to even as close as they could possibly get to Generation 1 Optimus Prime, even if the colors are a little different, hence the white to silver or gray for the legs, which, that's my brother talking, not me, okay? I love this format. I think it looks awesome. And let's get to his accessories now. Now, this is where I got one little problem about this figure. Yeah, his ion blaster does fold up. It's kind of like one of those, what are they called? Those mech tech weapons for Transformers Prime Robots in Skies. You know what? Don't matter. There's this little button right here, which is trigger happy, might I add. And by trigger happy, I mean that one little thump or one little push and it will open up. It will open up on its own. And it is just a little hard to get it back to lock into place. But anyway, I mean, that's how it is. But in order to get him in its storage mode, which I'm having a little trouble. There we go. Like I said, it is a little bit trigger happy. Just a little bit, not much. You see, I had to thump it there with a little bit of force. Bear with me, people. There. Now, there's a reason why I had to fold it back, because it is actually storageable. Fold this piece down, and this is probably the reason why this Optimus Prime does not have a light-up matrix, just for this thing. Set this in here like so, and be very careful, otherwise the trigger might go off. I hope I'm doing this right. It's been a while. Come on, get in there. Get in there. There we go. Carefully push it in, close it back. And there we go. Storage. You can also leave it in there in cab mode and it won't ruin the transformation whatsoever. However, one little problem with this figure. When you've got this weapon in here, this back piece will not close. Will not. Not for this mode, not for cab mode, not for any mode. It just won't stay put. It's like the Matrix. Once it's in here, this will not stay closed. No matter how hard you push on it, which I don't recommend you do. Be careful with this figure. Not saying that the quality is bad, but there are some places that do feel a bit fragile. You might want to be careful with these certain areas, otherwise you might actually crack his window. I have put my thumb here a few times, and lucky enough, I have not cracked them yet. But I've smeared them up a little bit. That's my fault. Still, though, if you want these pieces to stay put in the right place, just leave the weapon out, okay? And besides, Optimus Prime is best known for holding his weapon anyway, which I'm going to get to right now. There is, unlike MP-10, a peg and a hole for his hand. There's a hole right here, which there's also a peg on the handle of the blaster itself, which covers around the trigger as well. And there you go. It's in there perfectly. It's not going anywhere. I shouldn't be doing this to this figure since it's brand new, but I'm doing it anyway to show you guys. It's not going anywhere. Not a single place. See that? Awesome. Now let's get this out of here. This is going to be a long review. But I digress. We knew this was coming. So, let's bring in his signature weapon, apparently. Even though it was only used in one episode. One episode! And yet, Hasbro, Takara, all of them are just going crazy with this axe. One episode. This is how this goes in. This is how this goes in. This is how the Energon axe goes into Optimus Prime's hand. Unlike the original, which is MP-10, as everybody knows by now, which I've said too many times in this review, and I will try to stop. His hand does not fold away, and there are no clips on the Energon axe which just clip over the handless Optimus Prime figure, if you know what I mean. There's this little indentation right here to where his thumb goes here and his fist goes in here, and that's how it goes, like so. And yes, people, I have noticed that the Energon axe on all Optimus Prime figures of MP-10's model are extremely loose at this piece right here. But I have already taken the liberty of taking care of that problem, just like the radar dish with Optimus Prime's repair bay inside the trailer. I've taken a little shot of super glue, but yet I will show this off to you, though I shouldn't be doing this. It's a little tight, but it is still removable. For storage reasons only, it is still removable, but brush-on super glue works best for this. You can probably even see it on this thing. Just in a little bit of a few corners here and there, you can see the brush-on super glue works like a charm. It's like an extra bit of plastic. It puts on a little more bit of layer, which this axe is not going anywhere now. See? Not going anywhere. So, that's really it for Optimus Prime's accessories, except for one, which, yeah, it is hard to get out. I've had that problem quite a few times now myself. But it does come out. So, okay, we've gone through every bit of accessory that Optimus Prime has, except for one. The one that is meant to light our darkest hour, or their darkest hour in the time of need. Optimus Prime will use it. And yes, people, I know this is hard to get open. You have to really get your fingernails. You gotta have fingernails. I do not recommend you use a knife or anything like that because you might chip away a bit of the plastic or you might hit the precious looking chrome. You don't want to do that. Get right in between this bit right here with your fingernails. It will unpeg. It's not easy, but after a while you'll get used to it. And there is the Matrix, the Autobot Matrix of leadership. And I do actually have a copy of it somewhere. Bear with me. Where is that damn thing? Ah, here it is. My apologies for my language. This one right here, this Matrix of Leadership came with the Scourge and the Rodimus 2-pack of the Transformers Classic series, or whatever they were called at the time. And it's die-cast. This right here is metal, and this is exactly the same molding as the Masterpiece MP-10 Optimus Prime's Matrix. Just like I said, this one's all metal. This one is all metal as well, but I'm going to show you the difference between these two, if I can get my fingers in here. Like I said, it's not easy, but it will come out. It's painted, that's one thing, but you can definitely see which one looks more cartoon accurate, or movie accurate if you want to say. This one tried, but you can see there is a major difference in the Matrix. And also, if you flip this one around, there's also a little hint as if the Matrix is opening, even though it doesn't open like the original one. One side is smaller than the other. So yeah, apparently Rodimus is trying to unleash the Matrix, or Optimus Prime, since it is his. But it's very nice. I love it. It is so cool. And I love the fact that the, I don't know what you would call it. I guess the crystal or the spark on the inside is actually shining. Look at that shimmer to it. That makes it look just like the movie. There's a little hair on it. Ha! That makes it look a lot like the animated movie, how the Matrix was so shimmery. Look at that. That is a major step ahead from what the original Matrix was. And just like all Matrixes, it is very nicely detailed on the inside as well. Forgot to show that off. I don't think you can see that. Let me try something. I'm running out of time. Gotta hurry this up. I got a light here. Just one sec. There you go. Now you can see it. So yeah, it's got some nice mechanical look to it. So awesome. Let's go ahead and put this bad boy back, because otherwise, if I don't, Optimus Prime is officially dead, right? I mean, this does actually replace his spark. I'll fold this down and fold this back in. Listen to it click. And then you know that you can close this back up. Because if you don't, this is really going to be sticking out far more than what it actually is. So yeah, you can see it's opening up. But that's every Optimus Prime figure of this model. He's got problems, but it's not much. I mean, this Optimus Prime is just so perfect. I'll give you a complete 360 look at him. Sure, he's got screw holes. But then again, I mean, this is a pretty big figure. Not as heavy, but it is big to places where it really needs to be disassembled in case something snaps here and there and you need to replace it. So I thank Hasbro for leaving all this in here. Now, like I said, this is not a knockoff or anything like that. I mean, these smokestacks are exactly the same scale as they should have been for the original Optimus Prime. But, you know, they were trying to be kid-friendly. But for some reason, this time kids can actually afford this figure, and yet this time they left the smokestacks up completely, to where a kid could poke his eye out or something. But you know what? I thank him for it. I'm glad he's got some large smokestacks this time, instead of having to go out and buy third-party stuff and a third-party trailer, which is not an official Hasbro release. Yeah, that's right. For those who have MP-10, you know this for sure. He never had a trailer. Never. There have been third-party companies out there releasing trailers for a Masterpiece Optimus Prime of that scale, but really, this is a step ahead. Hasbro, I can't believe they actually were thinking about not releasing this figure with this trailer just to save on costs. But really, for the price value, $120 to $150, it's well worth it. All this is a perfect grab here. And yeah, this just came apart. Like I said, it will do that until it sticks. after a while it will stick back together. So yeah, you got your Energon Act, you got your Ion Blaster, which disappeared. There it is. You've got Spike, you got his trailer, you got Roller on the inside, you got a bunch of detail here and there, you've got his repair bay kit, whatever that robot thing is, you got Optimus Prime, you got his Matrix, you got a shitload of articulation, you've got everything with this figure. All this for $100 and you know what, to be perfectly honest, for under $150, this is as best as it's going to get, and I thank Hasbro for actually releasing this to the US. I am so glad I got this figure. You will not regret purchasing this. My only real complaint when it comes to this figure, or a large regret, would be the fact that he's only a Toys R Us exclusive, thus giving away that little sticker indentation right there from Toys R Us. But luckily, I had somebody keeping an eye on it, or dare I say, I had an angel looking out there for me on this figure. So thank you very much, Wake Angel. I appreciate this figure. I love it so much. It is way past cool. But it's time for me to roll out, guys. So that's it. We are done with this review. Questions or comments, leave them below. I'll answer them when I have time. And until the next RedX review, whatever it's going to be, I have no idea. That's me. I'm out of here. So see you later, guys. And yeah, go subscribe to Wake Angel and check out his customs.